Just a closer walk with thee, just a walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus, hear my plea. Just a walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Daily walking close to thee, just a walk with thee, just a closer.
I was in charge of Debbie. Teeny was in charge of Vivian, when we were growing up. But actually, I was in charge of all three of them. I actually was.
I am weak, but thou art strong. Just to walk with thee, just to closer walk with thee. Jesus, keep me from harm. Just to walk with thee, just to closer walk with thee.
So, first of all, thank you again for being open and available, and
Thank you for doing it.
yeah, we're both getting pretty excited about this whole thing.
From New York.
We can just.
There's nobody I know.
Oh, okay.
No, there's nobody I know. Now, how can I cut this thing off?
I just press off.
Oh, okay. No, but I mean, how can I keep it from ringing?
Oh, well, I mean, how often does it ring?
Sometimes a lot of these telemarketers.
You said something a moment ago about how you didn't think you would live to be 75, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate a little bit about that.
Probably because I went through a lot with operations and everything when I was younger. And 20 years old I thought was really old. When you're young, you think 20 is like old. I wasn't even thinking about my grandmother and them, although they were much older. I just thought I wouldn't live past 20 something. And I dread for 20 to come. I was dreading for it to come. But after it came, then I wanted to live longer and start thinking of other things. You know what I mean?
The type of dwarfism we've now found out, because all the time we thought she had achondroplastic dwarfism. But it was later found out at Johns Hopkins that she has a non-specific dwarfism. So I don't know if there's anyone else who really had it. We had one auntie who was short. She was kind of bow-legged, but not short like Doris.
I had a body cast from here all the way down to my toes, and just a space to go to the bathroom. And I was in the bed all the time. So, and laying flat, I couldn't even be tilted up because the gas, And so I had to drink like that, drink out of a straw.
In my mind, they didn't really know whoever they are, didn't really know what to do or how to do, in my mind. She was a little tiny girl. It seems strange to put a hip into a little tiny girl unless at some point you're going to put another one. There's two issues in my mind that is very concerning. One, that she was in a hospital that did not attend to, the doctor who operated on her could not operate in his hospital because she was black. So she had to go to the general hospital, and he was working without his staff. So
he was working without his staff.
He was working without his staff. So this to me was a negative, because he couldn't do all that he needed to do, maybe. And also, I think that they weren't, when I think about this, why would you take a hip out of a little tiny girl unless there was some plan at some point to put a larger one?
Everyone has challenges and things, and somehow
how she has overcome so many, but yet never speaks negatively about any of the challenges or about how she felt when maybe life didn't go her way, born with these physical disabilities and dwarfism.
When I started looking for a job after I graduated from school, they would tell me things like, oh, I didn't know you could type or run an adding machine, because they always have it on top of file cabinet. Now, how crazy is that? I would be the first one there for the interview and the last one to leave at 5 o'clock. My friend told me about the police department, and it was paying more money, and I said, oh, I really want this job. I passed the test, everything. They called me. I guess it was in the works. But when I went for my interview, they wanted to not take me because they said they never had a problem like me before. I really started talking then. I said, I understand height is a problem if I was coming to be a police officer. But for 9.5, 10 years, I've been working at a desk. I can type in, taking, doing all kinds of reports and stuff like that, and running all the types of machines. And usually I don't speak up. I just, let it be. But I really wanted that job. So I spoke up.
I just wanted to share Doris. I wanted to share the Darden spirit, because when I am with her, I feel better. The world seems better. No one asked me to do it, and I certainly didn't have to do it. And I just said, Doris, I just have to tell your story. I'm just so amazed when I'm with you. So that being said, we began. We're sitting here trying to figure out how me from California and my background, and you from Kentucky,
Yeah.
Virginia, and growing up in New York, how these two people came together and look at us, the good times we've had.
Well, met him at Hunter.
I went back to school to finish a degree, a BA, from Cal State Northridge.
Good morning. We're going to go off on a little adventure here, a day in New York. I'm prepared, got the Hunter backpack, and follow me.
All I wanted to do was get to New York, so I only applied to one school, that was Hunter, and one of the classes that I signed up for was an acting class in the theater department, and it was for able-bodied and disabled actors. And in that class, I met Doris Darden.
I was not born in Africa. No, I'm not from the Carolinas. I was born in Kentucky. No, I did not smoke as a child. And I took that class because I was very shy in talking in class. I couldn't talk in class for some reason. So I figured if I take an acting class, the acting class maybe it would get me out of that.
So, would you mind, can you just tell us real quick where we're going today?
Oh, we're going to Hunter College where Jody and I met.
All right, well, show us the way.
Okay. Like, for instance, when I started looking for a job after I graduated from school, I would be the first one there and the last one to leave, and things like that. And I became discouraged. But my mother made me get out every day until I did find a job. Because my mother had faith in me. My sisters and them didn't think of me any different. But the outside world, And so, but I felt I overcame all of those things. As far as physical, mentally, and just living a normal life,
Jody!
Oh, you made it! You look great. Oh my God.
I got the scalpel to hold my iPod.
Of course. Honestly, Doris tells me that I helped her and that she was very nervous and frightened in the class, but when I'm with her, I am really reminded that I shouldn't complain about anything, but I forget. I need to be around them and visit them and talk with them just to be reminded of what matters. I can't believe how many Sundays we tried to get here, and you came yesterday. Oh,
I don't know where my head was at. But when we had to do the monologue, remember, we had to write and then we had to get up to perform it. You did mine for me because I couldn't get up.
Oh man. I don't think I remember. What did you write about?
I wrote about me and my first love, Atu and Booby's father.
Now, how did they meet? Because I'm trying
In
to.
Africa, Doris went with her church to Liberia.
Okay, this is new information. Okay. All right. This is what I mean. We don't even have to name him actually, but I don't even know what is his name?
It's the same as Booby.
Booby. Oh,
Oh
Solomon.
no, his name is Solomon.
They went to Liberia as a group from the church because they have churches over there too. And so while she was there, she met Solomon.
I met him going to trying to find the post office in Liberia, and then he wanted to go everywhere I went. You know,
My mom and I think that maybe Solomon wanted to come to America, and this was a way to do it. Maybe a year after all this writing back and forth and so on, he shows up at my mom's door. And he had stowed away on a ship, he said.
he stowed away on a ship or something, and he ended up in Spain. And I don't know how he got out of Spain.
Was there like something in your life that was the worst thing, the best thing, something?
I think the best thing is my kids. And the best thing is having Atu when the doctors had advised me not to ever have any children because of my hip. But I felt that I could do it.
Did you ever think of her as someone who was disabled?
No, I never thought of my mom as being disabled at all. No, I never thought of her. I mean, she has a disability, but I never thought of her as being disabled. You know, I never thought of her as being less of a mom. No. In fact, I thought of her being more of a mom because of, you know, she raised us, and God, she'd been through a lot, so, you know.
I didn't know why, why he did. He didn't want to have nothing to do with Atu at all.
We definitely have our differences, but I think that, you know, I mean, I wish him the best, so, you know.
She took a lot because she wanted a relationship, and I understand that, because he could be nice, but he is something click, and he's somebody else.
I remember he came up to visit one day, and this girl was downstairs, but I thought it was just a friend of his or something like that. So I said, well, why is she sitting down on the bridge? Go back and get her and bring her upstairs. You know, I didn't know at the time that was his girlfriend. Next thing I knew, they were married. He didn't want to talk or anything, right? When I would call over there. And so one time, Debbie went to visit Nicole in the hospital. She was a little baby. And she saw him up there. And she told me that Solomon was up here in the hospital and he has another baby. But I said, what? I didn't know.
What was the age difference between you and Booby?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Her sister was taking care of the baby, right? So I went up with Atu to visit, to see the baby, right? And right away, Booby, he might have thought I was a kid and Atu was a kid. He was so happy and he started crying when we got ready to go home and everything. So since he didn't have nobody to take care of him, I told him I would. This was Atu and Booby's room. and Booby's the last. I think R2 been away about 12 years now, right? R2? He
I was really out
wow.
there. I was out
when
there.
When he turned 17 and a half.
And plus, I did a lot of music too. So I was out doing, playing music and doing stuff, and I have just learned keyboards, and so I was out with a lot of musicians and weird artistic types and stuff in the village.
One time I was laying on the couch, sleep, waiting for him to come home, because when he turned 17 and a half, he went crazy. And I woke up and I saw all these strange people in the living room. That some of them had all different kind of color hair and funny makeup on their face, and I thought I was dreaming at first until I saw it too. I said, "Oh, too. Who is this?" They was coming out of the kitchen. It must have been about 10 different people.
Did you ever feel like you had to explain your mom's size, or did you ever mention it?
No, I never had to explain it. I mean, everyone, just like, oh, that's your mom. Okay, that's fine.
Like I would tell them something, and the third time they act like they didn't hear me, and they kept doing whatever they was doing. I would get one of their steel bats, baseball bats, and act like I was gonna hit them. And I told them, I don't care how little I am, if I'm small as an ant and y'all as tall as this building, as big as this building, I am your mother and you gotta listen. And I would start swinging it like I was gonna hit them. But I wasn't gonna hit them with it.
Yeah, it's been very tough. It's been very tough. I mean, I gotta keep my emotions in check, really, because it's been a really tough ride. Some days it's better than others. I mean, it's the only brother I had, so it's.
His birthday was last week.
His birthday,
but he died February the 9th, 2018. I think about him every day. I have my little crying spell, and I cut it off quick, so I won't get too sad. Because I really miss him, because he lived here with me, and he always tried to make everything comfortable for me, mommy, and just the little things that he did, he did a lot. I don't know. He did a lot of good things, He always made me his priority, I think, I really miss him.
Well, I know that he's watching over the family. I know he's watching over, my mom, and and I know he's watching over. Even though I don't care if he watches over me or not, but I know he's there every now and then. There's just weird things that happen. I'm just like, oh, he's here. So, but I, he's the one brother, I love him, and what I would say to him is that, you taught me that how precious time is, and how precious family is, and how precious, just the little things are, not the big things, but the little things, and, I try to live my life more to the fullest now that I think I ever have in my life,
My sister has dealt with so many struggles in life and has always dealt with it with a smile on her face. If I had some of the challenges that she had to go through, I don't know if I would have been quite as strong. People would stare, people would point, they would say unkind things. Oh, look at that little person, all kind of stuff like that. She said, Debbie, don't worry about that. Come on, don't even worry about that. It's not bothering me. But I would get into these heated arguments and discussions with people. And Teeny too, because she's just like you. She's just a small person, and laughing and pointing and all that stuff. And through all of that, Doris never. I would have gotten mad and upset. Said, "Well, what you looking at me for?" or something to that. Doris never did.
Where did the Where do you think that comes from? That amazing the Darden smile, and Darden. It seems like everything comes with a big smile with his family.
I think it comes from my mom.
Yeah.
I'll find it whenever.
Oh,
What happened?
I threw my pocket.
Okay.
What's today's adventure?
We're going to visit my mother's, where my mother's buried. Because her birthday is Wednesday, and my aunt's birthday was last Wednesday. It passed, so we're going to go put flowers on their mausoleum. Where is it at exactly? It's in the Bronx.
It's
but
233rd and right off of White Plains Road. You know, not right off, but not far from White Plains Road. So that was a good place. And plus she was concerned that if we outlived her, that would be easy for us to get to if we wanted to come.
It was very thoughtful of her.
Yeah. It's easier. Watch yourself, there's a lot of junk there. Doug, can you move that out the way? Just keep that.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me get out of the way. Bambi?
Yep.
Yeah, my sister cried about that.
yeah,
That Bambi thing. That didn't work well with us.
in the Lion King, the father died.
It's different.
Clinical depression.
What do you want me to put that in the food? That's it. Now what do you want me to do?
I want you to help me.
Are you good? You want me to swing them?
Yeah.
Tell me when you're ready.
Okay. Okay, now. Thanks.
Welcome.
Okay, we on the road again.
Air conditioner or something.
Air conditioner. Oh, give me a minute.
Well, wait a minute, Doris. You gotta get in.
Oh my goodness. This is Miss Queen Bee.
That's the Gemini in her.
Her name
The
is
other twin came out.
Doris.
One's
Queen
Doris and the
Bee.
other one's Ann.
I used to feel sorry for myself, you know, when I was younger. Feel sorry for myself. And my mother told me, look, you're not the only one that has a disability or the only one that's, you know, we're always stuck in the middle. There's somebody worse off and somebody better off.
We're not in the right section.
What the minute? How did this happen?
We're not in the right section.
It's supposed to be up.
It's supposed to be up in there, and I never saw that big house sitting up on that little hill. That mausoleum. There's the Babbling Brook, but that's not the one that...
Oh my God.
Do we have to cut them and everything this time, or we're good?
No, I have to cut them. Yeah, we're coming to visit my mom and my auntie's gravesite. It's their birthdays, and we come to just... We know they're not here, but we just come. This is the last place we drop them. We could actually walk up through
I
here.
don't think I'm going to do that because that's going to be wet. I'm going to meet you. Is it wet?
No.
No? Well, we're back, Mom, Auntie.
Yep, here we are. We miss
Oh,
you
no, their
guys.
flowers are not there.
No, here they are. I just took them out.
Oh, that's what I said. We took them was a white puff.
They still
Look good. They sure do. We miss y'all so much. Oh, boy. It should get easier as the years go by, but it doesn't.
Doesn't seem like the sort of thing that does get easier.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Auntie would have... He kind of reminds you of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando.
He has strong swimmer's legs. He's going to be a swimmer
My aunt lost her son at a very young age. He went to go have his tonsils taken out, and they gave him too much ether. And and when she called to see how her little boy was doing, they told her, "Oh, that little boy died on the phone." On the phone. And that was the rural South back then. You know, little nigger boy died. He's gone. Bye. Hung up the phone. She never really got over that. Okay, it's this one right here. Bernice Nelthrop and Helen Moore Crittenton. What a great mom and aunt, boy. Couldn't ask for better.
This one I don't think I can put.
No?
I don't think so.
Bend it back and forth? Mm-mm.
Mind if I sit with you for a second?
No, come on in.
Ooh, Tina's small, isn't she?
Did they get it in?
Yeah, they grabbed the other ones and they're just cutting them now. They're just trimming them. Do you have a story about your mom?
My mom, well, my mom and my aunt, they met on the train. My aunt had a little boy, and the little boy took to my mother, and my mother was playing with the little boy. Well, we call her our aunt, but it's really my mother's close friend because they've been friends since they were like teenagers, you know. So when it was time to buy, you know, where they was going to be buried, they decided to get it together, you know.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you're related or not. If you have somebody in your life that's close, that close, you just stick with it.
Yeah.
You said XYZ. That's why I became a nurse, but that's a story for a different day.
Yeah.
Maybe we could start there.
When Doris was maybe 4 or 5, she had body casts, you know, so all the way down. And I was doing a lot of things, even as a little girl. Doris needed water or this or that, and so I would make sure that she drank the water the way my aunt said that she should, which was out of a straw.
Do you think going into nursing is part because of Doris?
I know it is, absolutely.
It was quite different in here before I got where I couldn't manage, you know, and Teeny came over.
She needs help with getting in
and out
of the bed. She can get in, but it has to be set a certain way, and it's hard for her to do that. And she tells me to mind my business and to get out of the way, and I don't need that and all. But she does.
Yeah, because my sister, every little, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You know?
Tina and Doris have a special bond. We are sisters, and we all have a bond as sisters, but Arthene and Doris have a special bond.
She's always wanted to take care of me almost since she was born. You know, that's what caused her to want to be a nurse.
You seem like a person that is very independent and doesn't want to depend on someone else.
I don't.
So do you feel
there's
like
a lot
now
of things I know I can do,
Yeah.
but my sister, oh no, don't do that. Don't bend down to get this. Let me do what I can do while I can do it. And something that I can't do, okay. But sometimes I'm afraid for her, you know, since she's a 2-time cancer survivor. And she's been really, really tired here lately.
How is Tina doing? Has she started treatment?
She's been going to doctors 2 and 3 times a week for the last 2 or 3 months.
Oh, that must be a lot on your mind.
Yeah, on her mind too, because she can't hardly sleep. She's a nervous wreck, you know.
You just rest up and we'll come and see you soon. I'll come and see you soon too.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Doris. We're not done.
Okay. That's great.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See, just hearing her voice,
Yeah.
that's the kind of person she is.
So maybe just start from the top real quick. So you were diagnosed with
Lung cancer.
lung cancer.
I'm
sorry?
That's what they tell me. And part of me doesn't believe it. So I guess I'm in denial. It's not good sometimes to be a nurse because you start thinking all kinds of things and maybe none of that's true. If you're going to be a patient, just be a patient, Tina. So the patient Tina is feeling scared. Yeah, that's the best word. Mostly because it's the third time that I've been told I had cancer. And the other 2 times, I was like, I can beat this. I feel like I can beat this, but I don't have that. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. So I gotta pray more. Seriously.
Who took care of her when she?
Well, me and my mother took care of a lot.
Well, do you worry who might take care of you?
Not really, but I'm beginning to,
We can be concerned and help the best way we know how, but don't put us before herself, because she can't be there for us if she gets sick. You know what I mean?
At this point, the plan is to remove a portion of my right lung, and in about 3 weeks I go into the hospital and I have that done. So now I'm at the point. This is a whole year, Tina. If you've gotten this far, and if it really is cancer, you better go do something about it. If it hasn't done something about you already.
What does she do for you that keeps you?
She used to listen to me. Now she doesn't listen to me anymore. I guess she lets me take care of her. I don't know.
I always gave her ultimate respect. Doris demanded it. And I always remind her about this one time when I was about 13 and I guess smelling myself. And I told her something and she said, no. And I had the nerve to go and kind of push her. At 13, I'm a little taller than her now. And I'm telling you the truth, I'll never forget, she ripped off every bit of my clothing down to my underwear and told me, and don't you ever hit me again. Well, I never have. Growing up was a challenge because I did not, I'm sure like many other young people, I could not stand people to stare at my sister. To us, it was no big deal in the house. Doris did everything. She cooked, she cleaned, reprimanded us. She did everything, disciplined. So to us, she was, okay, sure it happens. That kind of attitude until you get in the street and people are like, and looking and pointing, and I took it very, very bad. And I would get into arguments with people where Doris would tell me, stop it. I wanted to go with her when she left for work. When I was going to school, I wanted to ride with her on the subway. And I'd always say things like, bye, Mom, when I got off, just to see the reaction of people. But Doris was so comfortable. She would get on that subway, go all the way down to Chambers Street, or wherever it was to her job, get off and go to work. She just didn't let anything faze her.
Okay.
No, thank you.
We are especially celebrating you all four today.
Oh.
This is Celebrating Sisters.
That's nice.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
This is.
You gotta take a picture of that.
Yeah. That birthday, 70th year, right?
No, I'm 76.
6 now.
26.
Wow.
And Teeny will be 75 next week. No, week after. She'll be 75.
We're very honored that everybody made this special trip to come together to have all four of you in one spot. When was the last time when all four of you were together?
Let me
I
see.
don't remember. My mother's funeral around that time.
Yeah.
And that's been 5 years now?
6.
6 years.
So technically, you're the littlest one here. You're the youngest.
The youngest.
Right, right.
Not the littlest.
Yeah, but I mean, you're the youngest. So, wow. And
Well, I'm the shortest.
Short happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of thick here.
Yeah, but you're
Me
youngest.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
She was really tiny when she was little.
Both of
Really
us have
tiny.
D's. Both
So,
of
hey,
us are thick.
let's do all four of you together. We're going to take a nice, lovely shot here. Well, I think we would not be here if not for your mother. And I'll
Birney,
raise a glass.
Gracie, Darden, Nelthrope.
Yes.
Cheers.
Better known as
Cheers.
Mama Dear.
Mama dear.
Mama dear.
Mama Dear.
Mama dear.
So I think it would be really fun if you wouldn't mind sharing. I think we should start with you, Deb. You're so great. Since it's your 76th year and a birthday summer, any Big Little Sis moments we could remember?
I was very happy that she taught me how to crochet and cleaning up her room. I would steal all the bobby pins when I cleaned up, so that was a big little sister moment. She would get me to clean up her room, and I would steal all the bobby pins. And also her shoes, because I could fit her shoes then. And she used to go to this place called I. Miller's that was on Fifth Avenue. Was a very exclusive shoe store because she had a very small foot. So my foot was also very small then, so I would get her shoes and use her shoes without her knowing it and put them back in the closet before she got home.
Doris always had money. I think I told you this before. She always had money because she sang in church, and they used to collect, have two collections. So one collection was for the general church, and when Doris did her little single, her single singing, they would take a collection, and she would have money. They would give it to her. I think I told you that story too, about the little boy that we knocked off I knocked off his crutches because he was making fun of Doris. And he was
walking on
He was
crutches.
walking on crutches. And
He was making fun of Doris.
And he was making fun of Doris. Ooh, look at that midget. Look at that. Oh. And he would bother her all the time. And I got sick of him that day. And I took my books and threw and knocked him off his crutches. And I felt so bad though afterwards, and I wanted to go.
And she went to try to pick him up, and I told her, leave him down there.
Hearing her sing with a friend, Jeanette Walker. And I don't know if Jeanette could sing, but Doris could. And we used to have to be the background, but we could only say one part. She would sing, just a closer walk with thee. And then she would go all into the whole song singing, and it was beautiful. She had a beautiful, but we could only sing,
Just a
closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. We couldn't sing any other part of the song.
We tried. She cut us
No,
off.
she said, no. You sing just a closer
I
walk
told
with
you
thee.
what to sing.
That's all you sing. Don't sing anything else. And then she would sing all this beautiful part, and she could project her voice, and it was just, our sister could sing. So then we want to sing a little bit more. No. You sing just a closer walk with thee, just a closer. So that's the only part that we were allowed to sing. But Doris had a beautiful, I still think, singing voice. Beautiful singing voice.
I'm just happy that I have three sisters.
Okay.
I'm happy that I have three sisters.
And we're so happy to be a part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Always have been. And always knew she was the eldest.
Yeah.
Big little sister.
And that, and I always say, short happens. I said, not my sister Doris.
Sing a little of it now? How would it go? You guys know your parts, right?
Yeah.
But I can't sing
said she
anymore.
can't
I'm
sing
telling you,
anymore.
I really can't.
I can't either. I guess our voices got old and deep. And
After that last operation about 10, 12 years ago, I
yeah, that
think,
serious one.
something happened.
Yeah.
You
It
know.
had to do with the anesthesia
Right.
because she can't.
A little
she can't go all the way
impromptu,
back.
just a little.
We'll sing just a little piece of it. Do you remember that song?
Yeah,
Just a little
But
piece of
Debbie,
it.
just a closer walk with thee. Just a closer walk with thee. Just a closer walk with thee. Just a walk with thee.
Just a closer walk with thee.
Just a closer.
Jesus. Yeah, I can't.
Oh, that was beautiful.
But that was good. That was good.
I tell you, this has just been so. Thank you for letting us into your lives.
Jody.
Yeah. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
I think the biggest thing I would take away from all these experiences of hearing their stories is that what could have been just beaten anybody down or become a negative or complaining is that they don't do that. They just go forward and make it work and are gracious doing it.
When I think of my sister, I think of courage. I think of how she felt about being a person, that nothing got in her way, that she was able to overcome so many things, and she always had a smile on her face.
Do you have like a life motto that you live by?
Anything you want to do, you can do it. May have to go about it in a different way, but you can do it. And always keep a positive mind, you know.
You definitely live that, no doubt.
I try. I try.
Just a closer walk with thee, just a walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. Just a walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Daily walking close to thee, just a walk with thee, just a closer walk. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be, dear Lord, let it be, let it be, dear Lord, let